everybody. I've got my hoodie up because it's like 32 degrees outside right now, but the high is gonna go to like low 70s. I'm on the way to the track. Super nervous. We're just out in the middle of nowhere, which is super cool. Nice, just kind of gentle cruise this morning. That being said, ultimate goal still is to be able to at least do 3 hot laps. I'd like to do 4 because the time attacks are 3 total hot laps. I just need the car to stay together, do well, oil temp stay low, coolant temp stay good enough, you know, low enough. And I just want to be able to have a great time with the car. That's the ultimate goal here. But again, being able to do some hot laps will aid in, you know, my enjoyment. If not, worst case, man, I'm just gonna jump in some other buddies' cars and go for a good time. And hopefully, if the car's holding up, I'll have some people jump in my car and get you guys some decent footage of this. So let's go get some 91 octane, and next stop will be the track. Try. Chattery clutch, gear bar clutch. Stay away from the 6 bucks. Gotta wait for someone to pass. Nah, I'd go. And then once you see that, work your way in. And then right here, work your way in. Apex right here. Let it work its way out. Right here. Brake. 90. Let it work its way out. And then come. Hammer it.
feel like that. See it work its way out?
Yeah. You get comfortable trusting that.
Yep.
You're not wrong. You're right.
It's all right. It's all a matter of courage. And you gotta build up.
I do.
You go ham. The 90. Yep. Let that incline assist you.
I did hit the clutch.
It's all good.
That's not my first rodeo there doing that. And I felt it too. You Goomba. I felt it losing it too. I was like, oh no! Can I make that?
You got it, you got it, you got it. Go, go, go. Here comes somebody.
Come on. Now you're at 194 for some heat soak that it just sort of, yeah. Should be alright. She's done that with me, unfortunately. That's again, so we almost did it there. I mean, that's what I said, up, but we didn't. See, now we're going, now that I sat still, now the temp went from 195 to 201. The van's doing work, but we should just get going. I'll see out of curiosity. 2. Hopefully I can throw some stuff together to make this video as good as I hope it can be, but biggest issue is my Track Addict app was iffy and out throughout it. I know there's not a lot of talking, it's primarily just racing, which is I hope some of you guys want to see. I could do more talking at future times, but ultimately I had a blast. If you do not do road racing of any kind and you have it around you, I cannot recommend it more than I already am right now. This is easily the most fun auto driving I've ever done in my life. The course is great. It's just a blast. I'm gonna fast forward this and just have more of a talk when I get to the house. It's just, the car's alive, I'm driving it. It was fantastic. All right, I've got a couple key points that I want to go through real quick. This video is already long enough, so I'm going to try to talk a little fast and get through it. First and foremost, I had a great time. If there is a road track by you, I cannot recommend it enough to go out there. The group of guys that I met out there were fantastic. No matter what your car, make, model was, didn't matter how fast it was, how stock it was or not, had a great overall time. I encourage anybody to go do it. So first, I want to show you the carnage. There's not much carnage, but the destruction the car took. The splitter rod, which is really just an aesthetic because this is held up, bolted to the actual frame if you saw my old videos, but lost that bolt somewhere on the track. I have no idea. Number 2. If you can see, there's some little bit of some oil there maybe. There's some little residue up there, and there's some right there. And again, it's almost like it's very thin. It's nothing crazy, nothing to be like super concerned about, but it's an issue nonetheless. So the Skunk 2 low profile valve cover hardware, it's nice and pretty, but it just, for some reason, it's held up this entire time on the car, but until, I don't know, like 6 sessions of about 20 minutes a piece, it did not like. So we're going back to the stock OEM hardware. We're gonna see how that does. All right, so I'm really sorry for the data that's being displayed on the screen or that you saw earlier on one of the videos. Track Addict and the GPS signal were not very good out there. There were some people with some external GPS units connected to Track Addict or Race Chrono, which did a much better job. So I'm going to be doing that in the future for the next video. My data logging, I wanted to give you guys like intake temps, coolant temps, and everything else on the screen along with the TAC and so forth. But I screwed up, and in the Honda, I set it up to automatic, data logging. And I set the threshold, I think at like 3,000 RPMs and 75% throttle to trigger it. I, being a first timer out there, barely if ever hit 75% throttle, even on the straights. The car just has so much power, and me being a novice driver, I know that might sound crazy to you, but it's scary coming up to a turn at 100 miles an hour and you got to hit the brakes. And the pads I put on there that were not filmed in the video, I upgraded to Willwood's BP20 brakes, which are a little more road track oriented. The harder I kept driving this car, the better the brakes actually got. So it's kind of crazy, right? You got to drive the car hard to get it to perform the best that it can. You got to get past it. You have to have confidence. And I slowly built confidence throughout the day, being that, I started at a 2:03 lap was my best time, and I actually went out there and tried to go down to a 1:45, and I'm cutting myself super short. So my VTEC threshold to get enabled is also 75%. So there was a lot of time where I was at higher RPMs, not even in VTEC. So what I'm gonna do, I already kind of did on the map, I turned the boost down. I should be at about 10 pounds of boost now, or anywhere from 8 to 10. I gotta do some driving and we'll see, but 8 to 10 as opposed to like 16 pounds. I think I'll actually be faster with the car down, or at least let me get used to it and then we'll, go back up. So with that being said, the other issue that I mainly had was a lot of people online after I made some posts, they said the oil temp was not hot enough. So the oil temp wasn't coming up probably because I was barely wide open throttle. It may look that way in the video, but I just was not. And it's kind of hard to tell because the GPS, the iPhone, or whatever you want to say, the GPS built in the phone only tracks the signal once every second. So me going from like 50 miles an hour to 80, when you're already at higher RPMs in this turbo, she's there instantaneously. So you'd see the mile an hour, if you look again at the video, it like jumps and you see me jump around on the map. It's because the signal's just not like broadcasting fast enough. So I'm gonna look at an external GPS that'll do, I guess it'll trigger you 10 times every second, which everything should be much smoother that way. So that's on me. Data logging is gonna be rigged to a switch, so I can simply just flip the switch when I go out there, not rely on me hitting any parameters, assuming I probably will now hit wide open throttle a bit more. And with less power, the coolant temps can go down. I'm hoping with less power, right? But the coolant temps were fine. In the morning, it was 50 to 60 degrees out, and I was able to do one good warm-up lap, like 5 hot laps and a cool down, and the coolant temp wouldn't even hit 200 degrees. So between the ducting on the bumper stuff and the hood vents, the car was doing great. That being said, when I got to high 70s, low 80s, about like 1 o'clock, and the car, it would cool down, I'd give it like maybe, I don't know, 25 minutes max in between heats, you could say. The car, I would get it up, I got it upwards of like 208 degrees. I would do a whole good lap at like 201, and it would stay steady the whole lap at 201. And then I'd come through and just sort of coast for a cool down, and it would quickly rise to 208. But by the time I was done with my entire cool down lap, which was like 2 minutes, 2.5 minutes, the car would come back down to 197, which was awesome. That being said, I am kind of worried about when the lower or the mid 90 degree temps. So what I think I'm gonna do, I'm not sold on this yet, because again, this is just the race setup versus I still have another hood to do and my stock bumper that I've been running. I think what I'm gonna do is potentially remove the T-bar. And once the T-bar is removed, cut a nice piece of some metal out here, keep the frame of the hood here, and just kind of let a vent go directly to it. And the second idea that I already kind of started, ooh, what is that guy? That is a heater core. I don't know what it's off of. I got the part number. If this ends up working out, I can share it with people. But it's a heater core, and I'm planning on routing the coolant lines, or the heater core lines down through there, kind of just connecting to this heater core here. I'm gonna put a 5-inch spout fan on it that's also rigged to a separate switch. And then I'll open up this duct area here that I already kind of started tweaking, but I'll open that up so air just kind of flows through and hits that. Is that gonna do anything? I'm not sure. I'm probably gonna do that before I do the hood. But it's gonna be like a little mini radiator. We're gonna see how it works out. I do have another event April 3rd. It's called a drift cross is what they're calling it. It's a drift event, and they're opening up 1/3 of the track I was just on for some kind of, I don't know, some kind of autocross session. Because I've discovered, and I've been told it a million times, but I'm standing by it, I agree with it. Seat time is what you need. The confidence to build is definitely seat time. So I'm gonna try to get seat time as much as I can. So I'll try to test out the stuff with the new external GPS and some other things for the next video, which will hopefully be a lot better looking than this. And then after that, we're setting up another track day event, which I think might be May 2nd or so. So if you're in the Albuquerque area or New Mexico area and you're trying to come out to the same track, message me on Instagram, whatever the case is. I promise everyone out there is super cool, super welcoming. Constant driving on the track like this, I'm not gonna lie, my body was sore the next day. But enough, this is super long. I just really wanted to get as much information I could out with this video and let everything be out there. So if you guys have any questions, comments, concerns, put it in the comments below. I'm open to about anything. Just don't come at me as far as, oh, you did this wrong, did that wrong. I'm learning. It's an entire process. I understand that. If you got some, good information I can take, I'm all ears. If you got like an external GPS unit that you know works with Track Addict pretty well, whatever the case, again, I'm all ears. So I appreciate everybody for watching. I'm really hoping to get down eventually down into the 120s with this car, maybe high 120s. The car is definitely capable of it. I'm pretty positive it is. We'll see. I hope you guys continue to follow me for this journey, and I'll see you guys next time.